Lebanese President Joseph Aoun affirmed that Lebanon has delivered a clear message to Iran, stressing the need to respect its sovereignty and refrain from interfering in its internal affairs. He explained that he emphasized this point during his meeting with the Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, Ali Larijani, stressing that relations must be built on the basis of mutual respect. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu affirmed that the operations carried out by the Israeli army along the Lebanese border fall under legitimate self-defense, according to him, and are in line with the ceasefire agreement with Lebanon. Netanyahu stressed that Tel Aviv remains committed to the ceasefire as long as the other side upholds it, accusing Hezbollah of trying to exploit regional tensions to bolster its military arsenal. S&P Global Ratings has upgraded Lebanon's long-term local currency sovereign credit rating from CC to CCC and revised the outlook from negative to stable. The decision followed the agency's assessment conducted during the last week of July, which included meetings with Lebanese authorities, particularly the Ministry of Finance and the Central Bank of Lebanon. The Associated Press reported that U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio signed a plan early last week that would reduce the UNIFIL forces and end their presence within the next 6 months. The UN Security Council is expected to renew UNIFIL's mandate by the end of August. As in previous years, this year's renewal is generating significant controversy. European leaders, including from Germany, France and Britain, will accompany Volodymyr Zelensky to meet Donald Trump in Washington. Ahead of the Washington talks on Monday, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, French President Emmanuel Macron and British Prime Minister Keir Starmer were hosting a meeting of allies to shore up Zelensky's position, hoping in particular to lock down robust security guarantees for Ukraine that would include a U.S. role. According to sources, the U.S. and Russian leaders discussed proposals for Russia to relinquish tiny pockets of occupied Ukraine in exchange for Ukraine ceding a swathe of fortified land in the east and freezing the front lines elsewhere. Russian President Vladimir Putin held a phone call with Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko to discuss the ongoing talks in Alaska. The service of the Belarusian president said that the two presidents discussed the situation in the region in the light of the talks in Alaska. Putin informed his Belarusian counterpart in detail about the results of the last Russia-US summit. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said in a post on X that she will be meeting U.S. President Donald Trump along with other European leaders in the White House on Monday. She also welcomed Zelensky in Brussels. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov held phone calls with his Turkish and Hungarian counterparts just hours after a summit between the Russian and U.S. presidents ended without any agreement on ending the war in Ukraine. According to Russian Foreign Ministry, the calls included an exchange of views on the outcomes of the high-level Russian-American meeting held in Alaska on August 15.